Hi, welcome. Today we're going to do a theraband mat class. So if you don't have a theraband, like a stretchy open-ended band, you can use like a scarf or maybe an old pair of leggings. Something that has just a slight little bit of give is good. It just adds a little bit of resistance for us and gets us to kind of connect with some muscles that perhaps sometimes we tend to forget about while we're moving. So we're going to start laying down on our backs. I want you to hook your band, or whatever you're using as your band, around the soles of your feet. And then just slowly come on down onto your back. And just allowing yourself to lay here on your mat, giving the feet just a little flex to keep that band in place. Maybe closing the eyes, taking a few deep breaths. On your next inhale, just start to shrug the shoulders up, giving the band a little pull. And then just slowly exhale and release the shoulders down away from your ears. So it's an inhale to shrug up. And an exhale, slide the shoulders down. Taking a couple more of these nice deep breaths as you move the shoulders up and down. And just seeing if you can start to think about drawing the belly in towards your spine. See if you can close the ribcage down. One more time, inhale. Exhale. This time, inhale, shrug the shoulders. As you exhale, start to slightly tuck the chin to feel the neck lengthen. The shoulders slide away from your ears. And then just start to look up towards your toes, so a little lift of head and shoulders. Scoop your belly. And slowly roll yourself up, sitting up nice and tall. Beautiful. So we'll start to connect to the belly here as we roll down. So tuck the tailbone, scoop the belly. Really try to anchor your heels and the backs of your legs onto the floor, giving that band a little gentle pull, controlling your roll down. Shrug the shoulders, slide them down your back. You might even feel like you're kind of circling the shoulders around just a couple of times. One more. Beautiful, and then we let the hands slide down, the shoulders slide down. Tuck the chin, lift head and shoulders, scoop the belly. Slowly roll yourself up. Maybe wrap the hands around the band, or the band around the hands as you fold forward, coming over the legs. Nice little stretch. Slowly come up, unwrapping the band. Tuck the tailbone, scoop the belly. Really anchor down through the heels and the legs. Rolling down nice and slowly. Last time here we shrug the shoulders up and down. Gentle little circles, giving that band just a gentle pull. And release. One more time. Pull. And release. Reach the hands, tuck the chin, scoop the belly, roll it up. Maybe wrapping the hands around the band as you fold over the legs. Beautiful. Release the band from the feet. And then just wrapping your hands around the band so you can get a nice and taut pull on the band without your hands going super duper wide. They should be about shoulder width, maybe a tiny bit wider. And then scoop the belly. Same thing, gonna roll down. Keep that control. As you inhale, reach your arms overhead. And then exhale, scoop the belly, reach the hands towards your toes, lift head and shoulders. Inhale, hands reach overhead. Oh, I'm a bit too close to my houseplants. And exhale, hands come back over, reach towards the toes, lift the head and shoulders. Beautiful. Let's do two more of those. Inhale, reach overhead. Exhale, belly pulls into spine. Close down the ribs as you lift your head and shoulders. Reach and look towards the toes. Inhale, up and over. One more time. Reach. And lower, reach overhead. Beautiful. As you come up this time, roll all the way up. Try and find that same control we had before. And then reach forward. Take the band over your feet once again. And then slowly, sitting up nice and tall, maybe unwrapping the hands from the band, and then slowly come all the way down. Once you're here, keep reaching the arms long, bend the knees, and start to lift your legs to tabletop. Beautiful. Okay. Let's reach the legs up towards the ceiling. Press the hands holding the band down towards the floor. So really engaging through the backs of the arms. Pull the belly in towards your spine. Close down the ribs. Make sure your tailbone is nice and firmly planted onto the floor. Now, if you would like, you can stay here for your hundreds. Otherwise, you're going to tuck your chin, scoop the belly and lift head and shoulders, and maybe lower the legs to about a 45-degree angle. And then we just start to pulse the arms. Making sure you continue to breathe. Keep reaching the arms away from you to the shoulders. Don't get stuck up near the ears. Keep reaching the hands long. Pressing into the band. Feel like the backs of the arms are pressing down towards the floor. Let's do 2 more nice deep breaths in. 1 more time in. Beautiful. Hug the knees in towards the chest. Beautiful. We're going to go for a little roll like a ball. So you're going to hug the knees. Hold on to your band, hug your heels in towards your bum, pull the chest in towards the knees and start to rock and roll along your spine. Keep yourself in the tightest ball you can. Really scoop the belly. Let's do 2 more. On your next one, can you hold it up here in this little seat? Try and curl yourself into that tight ball. Start to reach the legs out. Maybe start to open the chest. Scooping the belly, lifting the chest high, finding this little V-sit. Maybe you can reach the arms out long. Hold for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Beautiful. Bring the feet down. Unwrapping the band from your feet. And let's come into a little side lying position. So you're going to hook the band around your top leg. So this is my left leg. I'm lying on my right side. And you'll come all the way down either with your head in your hand or come down with your head on your bicep. The bottom leg is slightly bent, just out in front of you. And the top leg reaching out below your hip. Now watching here, you want your spine to be in line with the back of your mat. Beautiful. Now here you can have either the left hand holding the band up off the floor. If your band's super long, you might be able to have your hand on the floor holding the band into your mat. Either way is fine. So we're going to point the toes. Keep your leg at hip height. Beautiful. Making sure you're trying to just gently lift your right side waist away from the mat. So you're trying to not sink down into the floor with that side on the mat. From here, let's just go for a lift of the leg. We lift up, lower it back to hip height. Lift up, lower it down. So you keep pressing through the band, watching that your left shoulder isn't starting to get tense as you hold the band down. You may want to release the hand away from the floor if that feels too much, and just allow your shoulder to relax. Remembering that we're working into the top
hip and butt. So you want to really reach through that leg, but also think of plugging your thigh back in towards your hip. Lift up, squeeze your bum, release. Lift up and release. Let's do 4, 3. Keep pressing through the band. 2. Last one, hold at the top, tiny little pulse, down and up, down and up, down and up. Watch you're not sinking into your right side on the floor. Keep lifting your waist, belly pulling in. Let's do 4, 3, 2. Last one, little circle, tiny, tiny, for 4, 3, 2. Change direction, just for 5, 4, 3, 2. We're coming into bicycle, so the leg comes down in line with your hip. Bend your knee forward, keep pulling on your band, extend your leg out in front. With the leg nice and straight, sweep it back under your hip, and then bend the knee, extend it forward, sweep it back, bend the knee, extend forward, sweep it back. Beautiful. So you're giving your bum a big squeeze to reach your leg back behind you. A slow bend of the knee in as you pull the belly in. Keep that thigh nice and still as you extend your leg out in front. Squeeze your bum to send the leg back. Let's do 2 more. Bend, extend, and reach it back. 1 more time. Bend, extend, reach it back. Beautiful. This time we bend, extend, hold, and we reverse. So we bend, extend below the hip, slow reach of the leg forward, and then bend. Press the leg back, slow sweep of the leg forward. Beautiful. 2 more. Bend, press back, slow sweep forward. Last one. Bend, press, slow sweep forward. Hold. Internally rotate your thigh, your knee, and your toes down towards the floor. Little pulse, up and down, up and down. Beautiful. Keep pulling the belly in. Let's do 4. Hopefully those left glutes are really starting to feel engaged. Last 2. Last 1. Beautiful. Bend that knee. Let the leg release. Release the band. Give your bum a little massage. Whew. Beautiful. Okay. So from here, let's come onto our backs. So just rolling onto your back. Again, we're going to wrap the band around your hands so it's nice and taut. So you want your fists not too far apart from each other. So sitting up nice and tall if you haven't just rolled straight onto your back. And then slowly start to roll yourself down all the way onto your back. Whew. Beautiful. Okay, so reach the hands to the ceiling. Slide the shoulders down away from your ears and just go for a little open of the hands just so you can feel the band get nice and tight in your hands. Tuck the chin. Inhale. As you exhale, curl up, trying to reach your hands over your thighs. Inhale, lower down. Exhale, curl up. Inhale, lower. Exhale. Inhale, 1 more time. Exhale. Reaching through the hands. Inhale, lower down. This time, same thing, but we lift the right leg to tabletop. You're taking your hands or your band over the knee. Lower the foot, lower the head and shoulders. Exhale, lift the left leg as you curl up. Inhale, lower. Beautiful. Exhale, right leg. Exhale, left leg. Nice. 1 more time each side. Beautiful. This time we tuck the tailbone just slightly to imprint to lift the legs. Watch that you're not lifting your pelvis up Your tailbone stays heavy on the floor. And then here, same thing, except we're curling up and extending one leg out. Bend it in, lower head and shoulders. Exhale, lift up, extend the other leg. Lower down. So you're trying to take the band over your shin. Let's do one more each side. Beautiful. This time curl up. Reach the band over your knees towards your toes, hugging the knees in towards your chest, curling yourself up into that ball we had before. And then inhale. Exhale, reach the arms and legs long. Inhale. Exhale, pull it in. One more like that. We'll exhale to open. Hold with the inhale. Exhale, curl it in. Beautiful. This time we'll inhale to reach. Exhale, hug it in. Inhale, reach. Exhale, hug it in. Let's do 4, 3, 2. Last one. Release head and shoulders. Relax the shoulders. Beautiful. We're going to come into a little crisscross. So reaching your hands back to the ceiling, find tabletop with those legs. If you need to, head and shoulders stay down. Otherwise, they curl up. You extend your left leg and go for a little reach towards the outside of your left thigh. Come back to center, lower head and shoulders. As you extend your right leg, reaching to the outside of your left thigh and lower down. So it's a little cross over, cross over. Trying to lift your shoulder blades off the floor and then go for your twist. Kind of thinking of your opposite hip trying to track towards the hip. Opposite rib, sorry, to track towards the hip. All right, let's do 4, 3, last 2, last one. Come back to center and hug your knees in towards the chest. Start to rock and roll yourself up to seated. And then we'll come to our side lying on the other side. So hooking your strap or your band around the top leg. So now I'm working with my right leg on top. Coming all the way down. Checking that your spine is in line with the back of your mat. And either head in hand or head on your bicep. You want to lift your left side up away from the floor just slightly. Pulling the belly in towards your spine. Beautiful. The right leg, or the top leg, whichever one you're working with, is in line with your hip. Beautiful. Holding onto that band nice and firmly in your right hand. And then we go for a lift up. Squeeze your bum. Lower down. Lift up. And lower down. So it's a squeeze of your your right butt cheek. Reaching through the toes. But at the same time, kind of using the band to think of connecting your thigh back in towards your hip. Watching you don't get tight through this right shoulder. Keep the shoulder down away from the ear so you can lift the hand away from the floor if that feels better. Lifting up, lowering down. 2 more like that. We lift and lower, lift and lower. This time we lift and hold, tiny pulse, up and down, up and down. Keep lifting that left side waist away from the floor so we're not sinking into that left hip. Let's do 4, 3, 2, you can do it. We're going to hold for little circles one way for 4, 3, 2, change direction just for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Holding here. We bend the knee, press the leg forward, sweep the leg back, little bicycle. We bend, extend, pull the belly in, squeeze your bum to sweep back. Bend, extend forward, sweep it back. Nice, last 3. Extend, squeeze your bum. Try to keep your leg at hip height the whole time, watching that your knee doesn't start to sink down towards the floor. Last one here, bend, extend, sweep back. Beautiful, let's bend and extend. Hold it here. So we reverse it. We bend the heel to bum, extend your leg back, sweep the leg forward. Beautiful. As you bend the knee, try to get your heel to your bottom. As you extend the leg, you're pressing your knee back behind your hip, reaching the leg long, and then slowly bring it forward, pull the belly in. 2 more. Bend, extend back, slow sweep forward. Last time, bend, extend, slow sweep forward, and we hold. Internally rotate the toes, the thigh, the knee, little pulse, down and up, down and up. This one's like the last little killer for the glutes. Let's do 4. You've got it. 3, relax that right shoulder for 2. Whew. Last one. Beautiful, and slowly release down. Really nice. Okay, let's come onto our bellies. Holding onto your band, you can actually fold the band in half. Okay, so you're going to come all the way down with your hands on the floor, reaching long out in front of you. Hands kind of a little bit wider than your shoulders. Laying on your belly, forehead to the ground, tops of the feet pressing down, so toenails to the mat. Slide your shoulders down away from your ears. Press your left hand into the floor, and then just start to lift your right hand off the mat, and then lower it down. And then press your right hand down, left arm lifts and lowers. So just alternating arms. Try to keep your band nice and taut. Start to think of tucking the tailbone under. Feel the back of your lower spine lengthen. The back of your neck should be nice and long. Squeeze your bum just a little. And then think of lifting the belly just gently off the floor. It may not actually lift, but just think of the belly button trying to make its way towards your spine. Beautiful. 1 more each side here. Right arm, then left arm. Release the hands down. Beautiful. With your hands on the floor, slide your shoulders towards your ears. Keep sliding the band a little bit wider, so hands are nice and wide. Band is nice and taut. Inhale, start to lift your forehead. Slide your shoulder blades down. Your hands can still remain firmly on the floor. And then exhale, start to slide the hands out as your head and shoulders lower down. 2 more like that. Inhale, slide the hands in, shoulder blades down, chest lifts. Exhale, lower down, slide the hands away. Beautiful. Let's do 1 more and hold. Can you lift your right hand? Lower it down. Lift your left hand. Lower it down. Keep lifting the belly, squeezing your bottom. Let's do 3. Last 2 each side. Last 1 each side. Both hands down and then slide the hands away, head and chest down. Beautiful. This time, start to slide the shoulders down. Can you float your hands off the floor? And then start to Lift the chest, lift the forehead slightly, maybe open the arms a little bit wider, pulling on your band, and then lower all the way down. So we're just looking for extension through the upper back. So really important to keep squeezing your bum, pulling your belly towards your spine. That little tuck of the tailbone under will really help. So you're only lifting as far as you can before your lower back wants to take over. Let's do 2 more. Last one, make sure you're keeping tension on your band. Lower all the way down. Really nice. So forehead stays down, hands stay down. Point your toes, squeeze your bum, tuck your tailbone, lift your belly away from the mat in towards your spine. And then maybe floating the legs just off the floor. Beautiful. Try to relax the shoulders. And then start to go for a little kick of the legs. Little freestyle kick. Little kick. Little kick. Little kick. Keep going with the legs. Maybe you can float the hands off the floor. Keep pulling on your band. Then maybe pulling the belly in, tucking that tailbone a bit more, squeezing your bum. You can lift your forehead, maybe chest, lifting up into that extension in your upper back. Maybe the arms can lift a little bit higher. Keep your gaze kind of down and forward, so you don't have to look towards the band or your hands. Keep breathing for 5, 4, maybe you can lift a little higher, 3, last 2, last 1, and come all the way down. Beautiful. Very carefully press yourself back to a shell stretch or child's pose. Just let your spine find its length, letting your lower back find its neutral. And then slowly, when you're ready, coming up and onto your back. One last time with your band out at its full length. As you come onto your back, let the band come across the front of your pelvis. So it's kind of across the front of your hip bones. And your hands are going to press the band into the floor. So you'll have a fair bit of excess of your band off to the side. That is fine. Beautiful. So your hands are acting like an anchor. Don't just use your hands either. Maybe try to use the whole back of your arm. So give the shoulder blades a little squeeze. Feel the back of your triceps pressing into the floor. Watch your back doesn't start to arch. Close the rib cage down. Beautiful. Nice. Okay, so feet are hip distance apart. Knees point straight up to the ceiling. Let's tuck the tailbone. Squeeze your bum and lift your hips just as high as you can with that band acting with some resistance. And then melt all the way back down. Beautiful. So it's an exhale, curl and lift. Squeeze your bum. Slow lower down. Squeeze your butt. Tuck your tailbone, lengthening through your lower spine. Lift and lower. Beautiful. Let's do 2 more. Squeeze to lift and lower. Last time. Squeeze to lift and lower. Beautiful. This time we're just going to lift a tiny way off the floor. You're almost feeling like your bum is maybe just sort of grazing your mat. Barely drawing in. Shoulders down and away from the ears. Can you extend your right leg out? Slide your foot away from you. Bend it back in. Slide your left foot away from you. Bend it back in. Beautiful. So just keep going. Switching legs. Keeping your bum low-ish to the floor without putting any weight in your pelvis. Nice. Last time, left leg extends. Bring it in. This time, right leg extends. Hold it. Float the leg just off the mat. Watch your right hip doesn't relax down to the floor. Keep the hips pressing into your band. The bum just grazing the mat. Lift your leg up. Lower it down. Lift it up. Lower it down. 3 more here. We lift and lower. Lift. Keep pulling the belly in, reaching the toes long. Last one. Lift and hold. Beautiful. Can you lift your hips just a centimetre off the floor? Lower back down to that starting position, just floating off the mat. Little lift, little lower, last two, little lift. Push through your left heel, squeeze your left butt cheek. Lower down, floating that bum just off the mat. Lower your foot, extend your left leg out. Push through your right heel, lift your leg up. Lower it to float off the floor. Lift up, lower it down. Lift and lower. Two more. Lift and lower. Last one. Lift and hold. Beautiful. Lift the hips, lower them down. Lift the hips, lower them down. Two more. Little lift, little lower, little lift, little lower. Hold. Lower the foot, lower your bum, give your knees a little sway from side to side. Beautiful. Okay, let's stretch it out, taking your right foot into your band. And just flex and point the toes. And then holding onto your band, take your left hand out to the side and just let your leg open out to the right. You can flex and point the toes if that helps. Maybe gently pulling on the band, encouraging your foot to come a little higher. Find that nice inner thigh stretch. Taking one more breath. And then slowly coming back to center, just switching hands. Right arm reaches out, left hand takes a hold of the band. Maybe your left leg goes long. And just send your right leg across the body. Finding a little twist, maybe a little bit of an icky stretch in the outer edge of your right leg, maybe into the back of the knee. Breathing here, just two more nice deep breaths. And slowly coming back to center. Keep that right leg to the ceiling and just cross your left ankle over your right thigh. Bend your right knee, and you can gently pull on the band to help get a nice big stretch for your left side glutes and hip. You could also not pull as hard to make that stretch a little bit more or less intense, I should say. And maybe flexing the left toes just to protect your left knee. Take one more nice deep breath. And slowly uncross the leg. Take your right foot out of the strap. And then we'll switch it. So left foot comes into the band. We'll just start with our hamstring stretch. So just flex and point the toes, gently pulling the band just a little. Getting a nice big stretch up the back of the entire leg. And then taking the band into your left hand, right arm out to the side as you let your left leg open. Maybe gently pulling on the band, maybe again flexing and pointing the toes. And then slowly come back to center, switching hands. Maybe sliding your right leg long, left arm out to the side as you let your leg cross the body. Finding a little twist, maybe a little slightly uncomfortable, but really good stretch on the outer and back edge of the left leg. One more nice deep breath in. And out. Slowly coming back to center. And then crossing your right thigh, your right ankle and your left thigh. Bend your left knee. Tailbone stays nice and heavy. Flex your right toes to keep your right knee nice and safe. And then gently maybe pulling on that band a little to intensify that stretch in the right side of the hip and bum. Just make sure in your figure 4 position that your tailbone is heavy. You don't want to lift the tailbone into the air. It kind of reduces the effectiveness of the stretch. So keep the spine long, tailbone down, shoulders nice and soft. Taking one more nice deep breath in. Letting it go. Uncross that right ankle. Hug the knees in towards your chest. And then slowly make your way up to a seat. And then holding onto your band, maybe it's folded in half again. Reach the arms up overhead. Start to tuck your chin. Round through the shoulders as your hands start to lower horizontal to the floor. And then reach the arms forward. Pull your belly in towards your spine. Really rounding through the back body. And then slowly keep folding. Maybe the knees bend. And just allowing yourself to relax into any version of a forward fold here. Let your head be heavy. Let your belly go. And slowly rolling all the way up. Give everything a nice little wriggle. And we're all done. Thanks so much for joining me for this theraband class. I am hoping to get a few more of these into our online library, so stay tuned. And I'll see you guys in the next video.